Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, and glad you could attend. Step inside the tent, my friends and movie maniacs, as we take a look at Between the Trees, a new film directed by Brad Douglas, giving us four friends who head out to the cabin in the middle of nowhere in the woods to do some hunting and general shenanigans that four guys do out in the woods by themselves. Well, this cabin in the woods definitely is not a good idea, as we know in these films, and sure enough, something nasty is in the woods that wants these gentlemen dead, and soon they are fighting for their lives, hunting down this thing to try to kill it before it kills them. Between the Trees is a fun, dark tale that takes you in a couple of directions that I did not expect in a good way. Brad Douglas gives us a story with a little bit of extra spin to your normal cabin in the woods horror film. First, this cast that he's got is great. Greg James playing Steve, this guy who's having marital problems, who's kind of going on this trip to get away from it all, and you're not quite sure what's going on with this guy. You know he's going through some tough times, and it shows. So there's a lot of inner turmoil that shows up in this character, and it comes through on screen. Michael Draper plays Josh, who's the geek of the group, because these four characters do kind of have your stereotypical kind of characteristics. You've got the devout friend, you've got the womanizer guy, you've got the guy who is a stand-up guy, married, but he's got some troubles going on, and then you got the geek guy. So you got your four standard characters that you would normally see, but these performers really give them a little bit of an extra spin, a little bit of grounding to them, and make them feel a little bit less cookie cutter than we have seen before. And now Marlon Mason shows up in here in a wild role. She's having fun. It was great seeing her on screen, and also shows that she can still be a badass when she wants to. She doesn't have a lot of screen time in this film, but where she does, wow, man, I just did not expect to see her in those scenes, and it was fun to see her on camera again. There's some makeup effects involved in here as well that I thought looked really good and really creepy, and the way the story plays out, it gets dark. I mean, it gets really dark. It takes kind of a twisted turn in the third act, which I didn't really expect or see coming, and it was, again, a welcome change, because going along, I'm like, okay, this is kind of your standard thing, and then you see this one event happen, and you're just like, oh, wow, all right. So that's what we're doing with this story. So yeah, it brought a smile to my face that they added this little extra element. There is gore in here involved, and it looked really good when they did have it. It wasn't over excessive. And in the end, I came away from the film thinking that outside of some editing choices I wish they would have maybe did a little bit differently, a couple of scenes seemed to go just a little bit long, and maybe a little bit of a different dialogue choices. Outside of that, I really enjoyed Between the Trees, and I think you will too if you're looking for just that little different flavor of a cabin in the woods story. So there you have it, folks. Between the Trees from Brad Douglas. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about films. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. I thank you for your support, and as always, remember, keep that ticket stub.